We are live with the Unlinked Standup for August 25th, 2026. Here are your people. Okay, we got me, Brad Hutchings. Uh-oh. And I have feedback. Yay. Not good. We got me, Brad Hutchings. Jesus, just a minute. How do I turn this off or down? Yay. I don't even know where I'm getting this from. Just a minute. Did that go away? Sorry about that, guys. I'm the idiot today. And it's still going. It's still going. No. Did that go away? Sorry about that, guys. No, that didn't go away. And it's still going. Oh, I know where it is. It's still going. YouTube, I'm sure. No, that didn't go away. That didn't go away. Ah, there it is. Ah, sorry. Wow, that sucked. My bad. One whole minute of me. Pete. Uncle Pete is with us today. Uncle Pete is our benefactor and show place provider. Good guy. Lou's with us today. And Soumen is with us today. Pete, tell us what's going on in your life. Start out the meeting that way.
Just got back from a little mini retreat. We go have a place up in Arrowhead that we go to. And so when we go up there, we Arrowhead hard, which means I don't do anything. And if I take naps, I take naps. I don't. I read. Whatever, and it's wonderful just to purposely slow down and just enjoy the slowing down part. Wonderful weekend.
Lou, what's going on with you?
So I've been actually just trying to reset a laptop that I have for one of my my boss has a bunch of laptops that we use for tutoring, and yeah, I've just been trying to reset the Windows on it. So I've been reading up on how to do that.
Nice. Soumen, how about you? You there?
Yeah.
Oh, you're here. You're there. Good.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'll mention the farmers market that we visited. The local farmers market. I think the produce are pretty good. Yeah, lives up to the name of being a farmers market, and the other thing is that we basically eat outside very rarely. So. And I think that has a very good effect on our health. So, but it comes with a price,
Yes.
You have to do that. You have to do the toil.
I am obsessing over the new goat of AI criticism, Mobatar. I am on a multi-day obsession about this. You should read my LinkedIn posts about it. The guy is phenomenal, and his second account, where he tries not to be sarcastic, posted the most amazing video today. Again, it's linked it's linked on LinkedIn in my posts, and I'll link it in the comments in the event, LinkedIn event soon after the show. Pete, you're the guest here. Why don't we start with you? And what's your topic today? And what's going on? Well, you're super clicky. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, we'll come back to you. That's what we're going to do. Soumen, you get to be up first.
Yes, sure. So, of late, I have been kind of skimming the surface of these AI agents. I'm somewhat fascinated by it because it has potential to be the worker of the new economy, and yeah, in the various appearances, I think I made it quite clear that my philosophical interests are worker aligned. So basically, in general, I think a lot about about the philosophical implications of working and how much it is linked to the concept of production, which are not basically same. So the production, which runs the economy, by the way, the gross domestic product. comes out of production to identify ourselves, and that identity, mostly work related identity, is massively challenged nowadays. At least for the knowledge workers. So now what's happening with this new thing, a large language model, is that apparently it exhibits a lot of locusiousness, and and but it's not clear whether that locusiousness actually translates to understanding. But nevertheless, with agents, what's happening is that is to basically consciously or intentionally run the large language model in a loop to achieve some purpose. It could be like it could be finding a math proof, which I commented today morning, that Anthropic found a good result, and that particular good result was based on a certain intent or spec that was expressed by a non-specialist mathematician, but a staff member of Anthropic. And then the system, the looping system, it basically went into various explorations, and it basically spawned 72 agents. They basically sometimes work together, sometimes work against each other, or whatever it is. At the end, a good result was found, which was again verified by a human expert, and it became a news item for Anthropic, and the cost for token was 3.1 million. It was $1,500, and so that itself basically gives a good amount of credence to my claim that these agents could be the new workers of the new economy, which I am interested in.
Yeah.
And then if you also believe my thesis that the work is major identity for our lives, then what does it mean? So that's why I'm interested. What are these newfangled workers or super workers agents, and what is the architecture behind them? How reliable they will be, and this and that. What will be the impact on GDP, which comes out of production activities, such and such. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Turkish economist Acemoglu, what's his first name? Starts with a D. It's not Dario. Darren Acemoglu, already weighed in and said these aren't having an effect. They're not going to have an effect. People like me who had their file shares deleted already weighed in and said this is a disaster. Just you'll go through the cycle. I mean, I don't know what else to say other than tell you what I liked about your presentation is you actually brought up a cost, and we are bragging about cost right now. We are bragging about the spends, and costs are costs, and we should be embarrassed by the costs. That's what our attitude should be. I think that's probably your quickest route to alignment with knowledge workers is treat costs as costs, and then things come into alignment pretty quick. Lou, you got something to say on this? You're muted, Lou. I'm going to unmute you.
I got it. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, about the agent stuff, I have very little experience with it. I dabbled in the beginning when it started coming out and just try to configure things, but I'm just too scared to let things loose and not have a good control over the outcome. I mess things up pretty badly on my computer, and that's the only reason for not letting things really go out there. But I don't know. What's your experience, Brad? I think you did a little bit of that, right?
Yeah. I mean, I got to it earlier. I just, hey, deleted file share. That was a cost. I didn't really like it. Pete, you got something to say on this?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I do. Obviously, I'm going to come at this from a different angle. When Soumen talked about spends and tokens and how things perform, I'm told all the time that this cost, this ROI is great because you're going to get X back and you're going to save time. And these things never pan out. And so you get wrapped into a system of subscription or whatever it is. And It just becomes, oh, well, the spend is this, instead of, do we even need to spend money on this? Are we saving money? Have we produced anything more? It just becomes a justification of that spend. And I find, look, my little tiny business, I find that that's a terrible way for me to make decisions. Because if I just spent the 9, the 10, the 40, the 20, whatever it is a month, I could spend my way into thousands of dollars a month and not be any the richer for it.
Yeah. Pete, why don't you jump off and talk about your topic? If you'd like. Oh, no, I didn't mean jump off. I meant, Lou, you're up. Let's keep this moving meeting.
No worries. All right. So today I was thinking about oh, Pete's back. You want to go?
No, you go. You ahead. Go ahead.
So basically we have the concept of, your conscious experience, the things that you're aware of, the things that, you can pay attention to, which is not everything that your mind can include, right? So you have the unconscious part, which is supposedly a larger part of things that exist just in the background of your awareness. But I used to have all these discussions back in the day, especially once the AI and LLM stuff started coming on, where I would say that conscious experience has some usefulness to it. There's some reason that it exists. It's not nature just kind of came up with it for no reason. But many people were arguing that it's just an illusory thing, right? It's just some epiphenomenon that is just sitting on top of all these material processes that underneath are actually the real driving forces. But essentially what I've been trying to argue for all this time is that the conscious experience isn't necessarily going to control everything, but there is a reason for being able to specifically focus on something for a little bit of time and give your attention and energy to that particular task, so that eventually that becomes an unconscious process. And then that's kind of what we call habits. So I've been trying to explore, what kind of habits are useful to have going forward in the new AI era and beyond. So yeah, I think that's kind of what's been on my mind lately, and that's what I've been thinking about.
I like that a lot. Let me relate it to yard work. I'm on an acre property here. I have taken all the weeds out of a horse pasture. I am in the middle of moving the granite fill of a former horse corral. I think there's a ton of granite in it, one small wheelbarrow at a time, to make a place to park my car up next to the garage, a solid place to park my car. And what happens is on a day-to-day basis, it doesn't look like I've done anything. But if you take time-lapse pictures over a month or whatever else, like, holy crap, what'd you do? You did a lot. And I think that's the physical equivalent of what you're talking about there. I dig it. Good stuff to think about. Soumen, you got something to add there?
Yeah, I think definitely for surviving in the battle, which I think pretty much the work has become. I think habit is pretty important. So this habit could be hydrating yourself with something completely different, or even habit of critical thinking, or so what I basically want to say in this is that if you detect that that you don't have habits, right, then I would tend to conclude that you don't have much of defense. So so the habit is a pretty important for survival, which has become very multifaceted, fast moving, complex, this and that. So in order to kind of to protect yourself, I think you need to have habits which tend to protect you.
Yeah. I was going to switch over to Pete, but I will. Let's see here. Pete, how about you take your turn? Pete Turner, take your turn. It's your obligatory pun for today. No, Pete, you are.
Yeah.
Pete, I appreciate you joining us, Mr. Pete. It's all right. I think we're gonna lose Pete. I think he's given up, and it's okay. My topic for today is simply, we're gonna rename AI. I'm not gonna call it that. I'm gonna fight the battle. It is not intelligence, and this is not a question of semantics. It's just not. It's generating tokens is generating tokens. I would, in a neutral way that doesn't disparage it, I would call it generating expression. It used to be we had to do a lot of work to generate expression of ideas. We had to actually generate them ourselves. And now we have a tool that we can give it a prompt, and it does generate something for us. Let me take everybody video off stage here for a second. And, like our little AI drawing here, we were talking about this before the show. Brad, what did you do to get that? Did you tell it what to do with the notes and everything else? And I actually said to Grok, can you make me a picture of 3 Vienna sausages sitting around a table doing a podcast? Each should have a fork in reach to use as a weapon if needed. And it gave this to me. It generated this. This is beautiful. This is it's funny. It kind of got the characters right, the facial expressions of the characters, like me, way too happy about this, and everybody else way too serious about it. And I thought that was delightful. So, I think we can accept that generative algorithms do wonderful things without calling them intelligent. And I'm going to start to fight that battle, because when we do proceed it with, well, it's artificial intelligence, suddenly it must be smart. It must be smarter than us. It must be able to replace us in the workplace. Its answers must be better than ours. When it tells our friend on Christmas Eve, hey, right now is the time to drive from Minden, Nevada to Capitola, California, in the middle of a snowstorm, and people actually died in Lake Tahoe that night driving. It was like bad. And so, I go and run the same question on Gemini, and it tells him, no, not a good time to go. Probably should have listened to my answer from Gemini than his answer from Gemini. He made it okay. But we're ascribing intelligence to something that isn't, and I'm about ready to fight that battle. I feel like I've been fighting it for 3 years, and people say, Brad, you're just being it's semantics. Well, no, it's not. I mean, it's truly affecting the way you think about these things and not putting them into perspective. And so I think that battle's worth fighting. Soumen, what chance do you give me of surviving this fight?
So I think you were so I have this culture theory, right, which I find very appropriate, and I keep on bringing it up. So culture 1 is humanities, culture 2 is science, and culture 3 is tech. So this conflation of semantics, right, which is not intelligence, is coming from culture 3.
Mm-hmm.
Tech, cool tech. But it's encroaching into the fundamental definitions of culture 1 and culture 2. What is humanity and what is science?
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter is an example. Even today, I was talking with her, and she's about to get into top university, and I was kind of happy that she is getting into AI. But she quickly said that I'll despise to work with AI, which will make me very depressed. Which is, I don't think, is not very different from your position, Brad. So
Mm-hmm.
she actually, just before 15 minutes before I joined, she told me that I'll be very depressed if I have to use AI.
Yeah.
As I was expressing my jubilance that you are about to get into AI in the top university for bioinformatics and such, protein embedding and such. So, so this position like that you are basically saying, right? This emanating from culture 3, which is tech, and basically running rampage on culture 1, humanities, and culture 2, science. That needs to be taken more and more people, and say there is danger, because these two are solid cultures, like more than thousands years of history. The humanities is more than 2,000 or 2,500 years. So if this cool thing tech, which is not even 100 years old, the history of tech is just around 100 years. if you stretch, maybe 200 years.
Yeah,
And
I like
that is,
I like the cotton gin as the start of it, but that's all right.
yeah. So
You're more on the
then,
phone.
yeah, that and actually conflating the definition of depth and meaning and identity
Yeah.
in culture one and culture two, humanities and science. That's a real concerning trend, and that needs to be corrected. So this is absolutely 100%. This is not intelligence. Whatever is going on, absolutely not. No.
You know, the funny thing is, and you'll see it in the comments on this event already. I do not want to take away people's joy from what they see as AI. Like they see possibilities, they see good things, they see, wow, this could solve problems, and this could cure cancer. Look, I don't want to take away your joy of curing. This is not going to cure cancer. Generative algorithms are not going to cure cancer. We ought to stop saying that. However, cancer sucks. And if you wake up in the morning feeling, hey, this tech might help us solve cancer, I don't want to take that away from you. But I also don't want you, like taking reality away from me and the rest of us, and that's sort of where I am on that. Lou, what do you got? You are mute.
I'd say, yeah, definitely, we've been trying to go against some of this stuff like for a while now. And I don't know if I want to keep doing it that way. I think you're going to definitely have a good time,
Happy warrior.
battling some folks there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think it's still a good battle to, be battling there. It's just, I think I have to focus my energy on some other things at this point.
I want to raise a different army to fight this battle. That's what I really want to do, but I don't think I can do it. Mr. Pete, how are you doing with audio? Can we get you in?
Well, I just switched over to the phone because it's going to be more reliable. I think we're good. Yeah, the thing I would say to all of this, well, first off, I would put the beginning of technology for me, I think, is the wireless, being able to communicate that way. And I think the best example of the telegraph, basically killing off the Pony Express. Pony Express has existed for 18 months. And then they started doing things like Lincoln One. Meanwhile, there's a horse in Utah, right? And so it totally changed. The ability to communicate from offshore on a ship to shore is it shrunk the world in a way that we could never escape from. So when we think about these things and the way it's formed our lives, technology is incredible, and it's allowed us a lot of things. But it always takes time to grow. So your discussion about how we use these things. I've done a lot of interviews with a lot of tech people, and one of the things often comes up is that we have access to more knowledge than ever before, and we seem to want to press the accelerator on access to knowledge. But the access to wisdom is not growing with that. And so just because you can access somebody else's knowledge, which is really what I think an LLM or a version of somebody else's knowledge, what an LLM or AI does, it does not make you more knowledgeable, and it certainly doesn't get you any closer to wisdom.
Can we, should we?
Yeah.
You're in that realm. Yeah, may I? Exactly. May I at the end of that is the most important thing too. We have to remember we have individual responsibility there too. Pete, your topic.
All right, my topic. Well, so some of my buddies who are spies and I are all working on trying to deliver spy techniques. And this is partly the bringing humanity back into business. And so how do you reliably walk into a room and walk out with an outcome that is positive for your ends, and ideally positive in both ways. But the more, like there's a friend of ours on X, which she's talking about looking for jobs, and we all have different complaints. One of the big problems is that robots are talking to robots who talk to robots about robots talking to robots who talk to robots who talk to robots who don't communicate. And that's the actual count right there. Who don't communicate the value of Brad, the job seeker, and Tony, the female CEO who rocks it and would love a guy like Brad. They're not allowed to ever talk. So I'm trying to bring these spy skills to people so they can walk into a room and go, this is what I do and this is how I do it, and be able to create influence. It's just another way to gin up, how to win friends and influence people, but we seem to not have learned these lessons enough. So that's what I'm working on, probably a lot of today, tomorrow, the rest of the week, trying to get a seminar built out.
What Pete doesn't tell you is that he was an actual spy in Iraq and Afghanistan. Pete was introduced to me by comedian Jay Moore through his War Stories podcast more than a decade ago as America's spy. Like there are thousands of us that know of Pete as America's spy. And then one day I'm sitting having a drink with him at the Umami Burger outside the Irvine Improv, and we just end up like great friends, and keep intersecting day after day after day. So yeah, Pete is a spy. You could learn lots from Pete about incorporating being a spy into your life, and see that it's appropriate for all sorts of things. So that's my pitch for Pete. So, you got any questions for Pete?
No. Yeah, this job seeking thing, that really, somewhat enrages me and depresses me. There is a suit against Workday, which is another Silicon Valley company, and it's discrimination. You can go and take a look at the suit. It's pending. It will start happening. I don't know when it will start, but yeah, there is a lot of discrimination going on. And then Workday being a central company, they just amplify the discrimination, take information from one company, apply to other company. So that really depresses me, because it's again it's a loss of dignity for the workers by the power of technology, and Silicon Valley being part of it. when I commute from Sacramento to Bay Area because of my health reason, I pass by a Workday on 680, and I absolutely despise the feeling. This company is just amplifying discrimination, and I'm willing to go on on video, because the suit exists. It actually exists, and it's much more sophisticated suit. The kind of discrimination that Workday brings in by being part of its central database and AI.
Yeah. Lou, what do you got for Pete?
I just wanted to ask if you've written any books or something to read about your experiences and your knowledge yet.
No, I've written a lot of posts about what I do. There's a lot of shows about what I do. There's tons of those. So I've definitely communicated about it. I've not taken the time to write a book, because guess what? When you write a book, fuck all happens. I mean, it's hyper competitive, and I just have never wrapped my head around the ROI part of it. So I take the opportunity that I have with my show to communicate these ideas. So there's a lot there. And again, like I would just say, let's disintermediate Workday and disintermediate monster.com, if that's even a thing anymore. I mean, there's so many of these sites that promise all this great access, but all you get is it's worse than a dating site. Like if you judged the success of the random person to when they get a job and the improvement of their career as the actual metric of your fill in the blank get a job site.com, you're going to find that these things are filled with failure. Where I could apply right now to the Dodgers. I love the Dodgers. I've applied with them before. I got 0 response back from them, and I applied directly to them. So it's not just monster.com who I was picking on. It's any company.com where it's like, apply here. I'm the perfect candidate for that job. Doesn't mean I have to get that job, but to get a null value on applying, or you get a value of like, your application is received. Like, yeah, I need to get a job in the next 6 to 8 weeks, and you get nothing back after that thumbs up you received. That's a broken system. And again, dating sites don't work like that. You might get 1,000 rejections. You can improve your thing, but we always put the onus on the person who is doing the applying. Well, your resume sucks. Well, I paid a guy $2,000 to make my resume. That didn't work either. And so all these critiques come back at the job seeker, when really it's the communication machine that's clearly broken, because you cannot reliably send a message in, get it received, and have a response comes back. Even if that response comes back is garbled, you can't do that. So that communication system is broken. Pete would say, get in the room with somebody who can make a difference in your life and get them to go to bat for you. And that's what I offer people all the time. I will go to bat for that person. Here's what I will offer to help you get a job. And here's the thing. People don't take me up on it. And it's hard. Brad, I can compel Brad to do it. But here's what I can do for you. Yeah, I'm going to try the thing that doesn't work. I'm going to keep doing that. Hey, great. But I'm here and I will help. I'll go on record. I will lie. I will say whatever you want to whatever CEO you want to get you a job. And they can come after me if they want, right? And
by the way, I hope this person isn't watching, but I am watching this in real time the past few days.
And
just end.
Because here's why I will say anything. Because F all those companies that can't figure out how to hire you, and Soumen says, as they diminish your value. Hey, we had a meeting, Lou, we decided to let you go. You're like, you had a meeting and I wasn't even there. You decided to let me go. Yeah, it's okay. We're going to pay you like 6 to 8, 9, maybe even a year's worth of salary. Don't you dare compete in our space. But here's what we're going to do. Get out, get your spy hat on, and go communicate with people so you never are ever bound by these crap ways of finding jobs ever again. Please, I'm begging you. Even if you don't use my service, go talk to Julian, talk to Gary.
These are amazing people that you got to listen to today. This is our stand-up meeting. Stand-up as a service is not a joke. Stand-up meeting is a service. If that interests you, you should find me or Soumen or Lou, or find Pete. Pete can be a spy for you. By the way, the title of Pete's book, when he does write his book, is going to be Bye-Bye, Mr. America's Spy, with a foreword by Jay Moore. So I got you covered there, Pete. I got that all worked out for you. And you're going to be awesome at it. All right, that's a stand-up meeting. We're going to do this again on Thursday. Different crew, maybe the same crew, maybe some of the same people, maybe some different faces. We'll see what happens. Hope you all enjoyed it. Comment, like, do all that stuff. Certainly watch our events live when we do them. Goodbye.